Welcome back to the studio. This week we are taking some messy sketching, note-taking that we did out in the landscape. That's generally what my old plein air videos are all about, is just getting out there and making messy marks and then bringing those sketches into the studio and collaging with them onto your canvas and using those as your underpainting or toning the canvas, and using that as a jumping off point and creating your next piece. These are like a few different sketches that I did. The trees I did out in the backyard, and the lines were birds and things I could see in the sky. I was trying to capture the movement and the sound out there. And then there's a bird. And then down here was a sketching that we had done. I don't know if I brought you along, but me and the studio dog went to a friend's lake house and did some messy sketching there. So let's get into the studio and see how I created this. Well, here we go. I'm taking out the collage papers that I had already gone out and did some sketching out in the backyard. I think we had done that the week before, the studio dog and I, and using some Mod Podge and going to put them on the canvas. That Mod Podge is probably not my ideal way of doing it, but it's what I have, so it works fine. But I'd like to try some other things when I get a chance. I'm doing the whole canvas because that first piece that I'm going to lay down is really big. I don't normally do big pieces like that, but I kind of was really liking the way it was looking, and I liked the lines that you can see, and I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but there's like a bunch of lines that I was taking reference of the birds flying. And it was an early morning that the dog and I were out on the patio and just really doing some quick sketches. Like, I call them my ugly marks. I like making messy, ugly marks. This paper is just a drawing paper. Hold on, I got it sitting over here. Just sketch pad, lightweight, for quick studies, it says, in any dry media. But I found that it takes paint just fine. It does wrinkle up pretty good. You'll see that. Well, I guess you can see some of it now. It's 50-pound weight, 74 GM. I think I'm going to do something a little bit heavier once this runs out. I got 100 sheets of it, so I'm going to be using this for a while. But it takes paint. It does wrinkle up, but I've noticed that it dries pretty flat. You'll notice those really bad wrinkles. I don't mind it wrinkling. In fact, it adds texture. gluing down another piece that I had done, I think, a couple of weeks before that first piece that we put down. We had been at a friend's and watching her place, and the dog and I were out on the dock and sketching the lake. So I combined the two sketches that I had done to make this composition. Just trying to smooth out some of those wrinkles. I like to get the acrylic or collage down over the sides so that once I do the final oil over, I don't put the oil on the sides of the canvas, because that way I have a place to grab and I'm not getting my fingers in the oil paint. I do have a board, like a corrugated plastic board that I try to use on the desk, but when I have the video camera overhead, I can't get that board to fit with the camera, so I'm making a mess of my desktop. Oh, laying out another piece that's from the same lake. I did, I think 3 quick sketches that day. I like to do about 3 or more, but 3 is good. But 2 of them I really liked, and I combined them to create the shoreline. There wasn't a canoe. That's where her beach area is to get down into the water, but I thought a red canoe would look nice overturned in the grass. I used pastels, and I use them here in a little bit too for the sky. I do end up cutting that off camera, that piece that I folded down. All right, now it's dried, and you can see that there's not many wrinkles. I'm just running my hands over it and making sure that it attached to the canvas okay, and getting myself reacquainted with the piece. Here I'm getting out the pastels. They're just brand from Hobby Lobby, the Master's Touch. Nothing fancy. They work just fine. That's a light purple. I think at this point I was like, it's feeling nighttime-ish. Rubbing it into the color into the canvas, kind of setting it in, I guess. What am I doing here? Oh, adding the pink to the sky. Is this the same? I think it's the same day. I always end up having to stop recording and let the dog out. Oh, I'm going over what I had done in the sky with the pastels with some acrylic paint. And then realized that I probably was blocking your view, so we'll go in with the left hand, make some different marks. Making some sky holes. I come in here with a paper towel and try and make it a little bit lighter. I was thinking the purple was a little bit dark. What are we doing now? Oh, I think we're coming in with the oils. The studio dog's in here crying because he's being ignored. I haven't been working with oils for very long. I got a few given to me, and they were like 12 milliliter, I think. I think that's the ml, whatever that measurement is, and they're tiny, like little samples. And I was just scared to use them, but I gotten a couple of other colors with some Christmas money, and last fall I started using them, but I didn't really like, and I was using it on a board, and I didn't really like that, and I was trying to use them plein air, just oils. And I don't know if you guys do plein air, but how intimidating that can be, and that you feel like you have to, at the end of the session, have this beautiful masterpiece. And I'm just not having fun with that way of working. Doesn't mean that I won't do that eventually, but I'm just really having fun with collaging and then building the canvas and getting lots of texture and highlighting certain things with oils. I had been watching an artist on YouTube. I think I was watching him back 4 or 5 years ago, and when I was getting back into art, because, you know, empty nester, and so I thought I was going to get back into my creative hobbies, and I found him. He's Chuck Black, and at that time he painted in acrylics, and very realistic, like really really realistic. And I liked watching him. He's a great storyteller. He still has a channel, but he works in primarily oils now. But at that time when I was watching him more regularly with his acrylics, he had mentioned in one of the videos that he, off camera, works the paintings and highlights certain areas in oil. And I thought that would be something that I would want to do on my acrylics. And so that's why I had gotten some of the smaller tubes. And then I got scared when I was reading, like, you had to use like linseed or walnut oils or whatever, and then those were highly flammable, and I didn't know if I should be working with them inside a studio. And it's not that scary. It's really not. But that's kind of where I'm getting that idea from, is from his YouTube channel many years ago. And he had made that comment. And sometimes I do the whole oil painting, the whole canvas in oil. And then other times, this one, it's more highlighting, like the trees and the water. The sky is pretty much acrylic, and I don't do any oils in that space, but I just liked how light it looked, and so I wanted to keep it that way. That yellow dot in the sky that I'm using as the moon, I guess. I didn't even notice that I had gotten a drop of paint on the paper when I was outside doing my messy marks. And I got into the studio and I thought, oh, that's really cool that I dripped a yellow paint. And now it looks like, at the time I thought maybe it might be a sun, but I'm thinking it's a moon because I'm doing a night scene. I hadn't done a night scene, and I had always said that I wanted to try and paint a night scene. It's more dusk, I guess, but this is another day, I think, or I went and did something and came back and I wanted those shadows in the trees darker. I discovered that I really love phthalo blue and a green, viridian green. They make the best foliage shadows. Let me No, that's ultra. I don't have the Oh yeah, they're right here. It's a viridian and just a phthalo blue. I wasn't sure if I had you can get a phthalo blue it shades, but it's just phthalo blue. The best combo for shadows in the landscape. I love it. The more and more you paint, you'll discover combinations that you love. Maybe you'll find that you like your shadows with a little bit of red in them. Oh, I think I'm adding some more light in the trees from the moonshine. It's okay that I had a little bit of green and blue on my brush, I think, and then mixed with that yellow and made a little green color. I don't mind, you know, variation in colors and shapes, and adds interest, add variety, if not for variety's sake. This is an 11 by 14 canvas, I think. Just cheap canvas, nothing fancy. I get them at Hobby Lobby. I think these were a Christmas gift. Sometimes I like gessoing the canvas 3 times or so before I paint on it, but that was when I was just doing acrylics. I'm doing lots of layers now, so I don't really feel the need to have to gesso it, especially if I'm going to be covering it with collage. All right, guys, stay messy, playful, and wild, and I'll see you next time in the studio.